wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back again in my video. With me Belatri Azifa from class 3A. So in this video, I want to do an analysis of the paper that I already read. The paper entitled The Role of Critical Thinking in Developing Speaking Skills. So without any further ado, let's go! So I divided the analysis into several points. The first is definition of critical thinking. So the paper defines critical thinking as a mix of skill and processes that help students engage deeply with ideas. It explained that critical thinking is more than acquiring knowledge, but also it involves analyzing, questioning, and evaluating information to gain a better understanding of it. The authors highlight that critical thinking allows learners to move beyond surface level learning and develop their ability to reason and express themselves effectively. And the second is the importance for language learning. The critical thinking is presented as essential for improving your speaking skills, and the authors argue that when students think critically, they can break down the ideas, evaluate evidence, and express their thought more clearly and convincingly. And this makes their speaking not only more accurate but also engaging and relevant. The paper connects the critical thinking to deeper engagement with topic, enabling students to participate in meaningful discussion rather than relying on memorizing responses. And the third point is the practical applications. So the paper offers several practical strategies for developing the critical thinking in students. For example, it suggests using TED Talks as authentic research. Students can analyze the speaker's presentation style, main points, and arguments and supporting evidence. This encourages them to reflect on how ideas are communicated effectively. And another recommended activity is the KWL method, where the student lists what they already know, what they already want to know, and what they have learned about a topic. And this process helps structure their thinking and foster collaborative discussions. And other activities include watching videos, participating in group discussions, and preparing individual presentations, which require students to think critically about the content what engage with. And the fourth is the role of a teacher. Teachers play a central role in promoting critical thinking in the classroom. And this paper emphasized that educators need to create engaging and dynamic lessons that encourage thoughtful participations. Teachers are encouraged to continually update their teaching method, introducing the tasks that stimulate discussion and reflection. And the authors stress that teachers should foster an environment where students feel comfortable to sharing their ideas, questioning information, and exploring multiple perspectives. And then the fifth is conclusion. So the paper concludes that critical thinking is crucial in language learning, particularly for developing the speaking skills, and it helps students gain a broader understanding of academic discussions and equips them with the tools to engage in meaningful conversations. By encouraging students to approach topics with a critical mindset, teachers can create a more interactive and thought-provoking learning environment. So let's move to the strengths and the weaknesses of the paper. For the first is the strengths. So the paper successfully emphasized the connection between critical thinking and language learning. It shows how critical thinking can help students improve not just their language proficiency, but also their ability to reason and communicate effectively. And it provides concrete and actionable strategies that teachers can implement in their classroom. For instance, using the TED Talk or the KWL method offer practical ways to make lessons more engaging while fostering critical thinking. And these strategies are accessible and adaptable, making them useful for a wide range of teaching contents. And the paper also highlights that the activity role of teaching in shaping a critical thinking environment, which is reinforce the idea that critical thinking is a skill that must be cultivated through intentional effort and thoughtful lessons design. And for the second is the weaknesses. One of the main weaknesses of this paper is the lack of the real-world examples or research data to support its claims. While it suggests that critical thinking improves speaking skills, there are no case studies or empirical evidence to demonstrate how effective this method area in practice. The strategies and example focus heavily on English as a foreign language settings, which limit their applicability to other learner environment. And this paper also could have explored how this method might be adapted for different type of studies or cultural contents. And the discussion primarily remains the theoretical, and while the suggestions are practical, their actual impact on learners' speaking abilities is not measured or evaluated. I also have two suggestions for the future research. The future research can focus on testing the effectiveness of the proposed strategies in various classroom settings. For example, studies could explore how effectiveness like the analyzing the edit talks or using the KWL method impacts students' critical thinking and speaking abilities over time. Empirical evidence from diverse learning contexts would make the arguments more robust and applicable. Additionally, researchers could investigate how these strategies can be adapted for learners at different proficiency level or in multilingual settings. By the end of this video, this paper provides a strong argument for the importance of critical thinking in language learning, especially for developing speaking skills. And it also highlights the role of educators in creating engaging lessons and suggests the practical activities that encourage students to think deeply and expresses their ideas clearly. However, the paper will be stronger with real-world examples, case studies, or research data to support its claims. Despite of this, it also offers valuable insight and tools for teachers who want to foster critical thinking and improve their students' communication skill. By implementing these strategies, educators can create a more dynamic and reflective classroom environment, helping students become not only better speakers but also more thoughtful learners. So, that's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.